Components are, just like the scaffolding, a bunch of pre-built styles that provide a certain look for your pages. And so the one I'm going to concentrate on for now is navbar, because this is a nice way to lay out navigation if you're using Twitter Bootstrap. Take a look at the start of this documentation. You'll see, if you read it, that you must include this inside the container wrapper. So you'll have a div with a class container, and then inside that will go the code for creating this navbar. And the navbar that you see here is a very simple gray box. It actually has a gradient on it that is starting with a lighter color and then going to a darker color. It has a title for this particular page. It has a 3 links, actually, home, link, and link here in the example. And I should mention just an item of housekeeping. When you're reading the documentation, anytime you see an href equals $, that's just a placeholder. The $ actually says link to somewhere on this page. It's an kind of an interior link rather than jumping out to another page. But when you see it here in the documentation, it's just a placeholder so that it is valid code. Let's talk about the code that goes to creating this navbar. So the first thing you need is a wrapper div. You'll hear me talk about wrapper divs, basically a div that wraps a whole bunch of different HTML tags to provide some level of functionality or look. And so here you have a wrapper div that is a class navbar, and inside that another wrapper div called navbar-inner. And the reason that you need the inner wrapper is so that you get this nice rounded rectangle. That's part of the inner. If you don't include the inner, you'll get a navbar that stretches all the way across and basically is straight corners to the edge of the container. So then we have an anchor tag that is a class brand, and inside that is the name. This could be the name of the page that you're on, and the link would be to the page that you're on. The UL, where we start our unordered list, has a class of nav, and then you have a LI, the list item, that has a class of active to indicate which page you're on. And then it has an anchor tag that links to the home page, because that's the page that we're looking at. And then 2 more links that are linking off. And what you would do is you would copy and paste this from page to page so that you have the same navigation on every page. You'd change the title and you would change the active. You'd move this class active down into the other pages so that every time you're on a page, it shows what page is active. So let's take a look at the navigation that we did in the earlier example. And we have a lot of what we need, but we need to go ahead and provide some of those wrappers. As you can see here on line 14, we're already in the container, so we've met the requirement to do this stuff. And then we need to start by having a wrapper div. So I'm going to have a div class, and I'm going to say that this is navbar. And then I need to put that at the very end of my nav tag. And I need my inner, because I do want it to be a rounded rectangle edition. So I need another div class, and this is going to be the navbar -inner. And I put it just after nav so that we have that. And then I just need to move these guys over. So you can highlight all of that and just hit tab twice, and it will realign all of that code for us so that it's nicely indented and easy to read. Then we have the nav tag, and I know that wasn't in the example, but at the end of the day, we want to use the semantic tags that are available to us in HTML. So we're going to include, or HTML5. So we're going to include the nav tag, which will basically be ignored, and we're going to have the UL class nav next. So we have to go to our UL, and we have to add a class nav. I'm going to assume that I'm on the home page right now, so I'm going to put in a class of active, so on my LI, so that'll take care of that. And then I have my other links that are ready to go. And with that, we should be able to take a look at it. So I'm going to save and hit the Chrome link, And here you can see that we, as in the last example, we had the header stretching across the page, but now we have this nice inner nav bar that gives us our pages. And you can see location, nightlife, and where to eat are all ready and clickable. And in fact, if I click on them, they'll try to go to a page that we have not yet created. So those are ready to go. The only thing that we forgot was the title. So let me jump back into here, and just inside navbar inner, I'm going to set up an href, and it's going to be to the index.html because that's the page that we're on, and it's going to be welcome to Kauai. And I'm going to change my page title at the same time to reflect that. And my subtitle, Garden Island, will be good. And the only thing that I need to do is to add that class brand to my anchor tag so that it will get the appropriate styles. So I save that, and I go ahead and put up Chrome, and let's take a look at what that looks like. So here is our new page. I'm going to cancel the debugger for now. It says, welcome to Kauai, Garden Island. So I can now go in my own custom style sheet and begin to style this title how I want it to be. And I have the welcome to Kauai page, which is the home page, and it is active. That's why it's gray. And here you see the other 2 or 3 pages, location, nightlife, and where to eat, in a nice nav bar, ready to navigate.